Hi, 1,000 subscribers hit this morning. Thanks all. To do that, I'm going to get a bit nostalgic and I'm going to re-review my oldest tool and also the subject of my first ever review. The Leatherman Skeletool. It's still the same one, still here. It's seen some shit, man, and it's got, pretty good rap so far in the channel, and let's see if that continues with my 3-year follow-up review. So, the facts. What is the Skeletool CX? It's an EDC knife slash multi-tool hybrid. It's got a few tools on it. It's got this sort of 2.5-ish inch blade made of 154 cm steel with a liner lock, very secure liner lock, which is good. It's got a pair of pliers just there, which can do all your standard plier-y stuff. It can pull nails out of the wall like nobody's business. It can cut wire. It can grab things that human hands are not meant to grab. A little multi-tool is very, very good to have on you, even if it's just a little Leatherman square. Just when you need to pick up like a syringe you might see in your playground while you're there with your kid and take it over to the bin or something like that. Good stuff. It's got a bottle opener slash carabiner for retaining on your pants and opening your beverages, and it's got a pocket clip. It also has a alternating screwdriver, so you can swap the screwdriver out from here. That's what you get. It weighs about 6.8 ounces, sort of getting towards the 110 grams sort of thing. It weighs a little bit more than most EDC knives. So say this mini maletta here weighs probably 20 or 30 grams less. It's still not a big heavy tool by any standard. Compared to a standard sort of full-size Leatherman, it's actually a fair bit smaller and a lot less chunkier. So it does truly become an EDC tool. You'll notice this Leatherman here has no retention methods that come with it, apart from a sheath. Whereas this one does come with a sheath, but it still offers two superior methods, in my opinion, to a sheath for a knife or a tool of this size. So it's the Surge side on, that's the Skeletool side on. Yeah, there's just a lot less of it. It's really, really cool. Inside here you get some carbon fibre just for good looks, and just the black on it is just paint, so it would chip off if you're too rough on the tool. Hollow end there, so you can't use that as a hammer like on the newer MUT and Signal type tools. So what do I like about it? Well, I like the knife a lot. The knife can do all sorts of knifey tasks. It's actually rather thick, so it's kind of a stout, strong knife too. It's about as thick as your standard EDC knives. It's a Benchmade 940 there, so it's no slouch when it comes to thickness. Really does do all you'd really need a knife to do most days, apart from becoming a little bit short to perhaps start falling down on food prep, so it probably won't span an apple or anything like that. But for a tool that is a hybrid, I think it really does a great job of being a multi-tool knife. It's probably the best multi-tool knife out there. I really like about it that they've thought ergonomics. They've got this little cutout here for your thumb to fit, for your index finger to fit quite nicely around, and your thumb goes over this rounded off portion here quite well to land on the spine of the blade. So just good cutting action there. And I've cut many times with this. I've sharpened it many times. It's a good steel. 154 cm is a good steel for a multi-tool to have. So good play there, Leatherman. I like the driver system. What I do with the drivers is it's the same bit driver type as the Leatherman Surge. I keep a Phillips head here, like the narrower Phillips that they do. So this is like a number 1 and a number 3, I think. Number 1 and a number 2. And then in there, I usually just keep this Torx bit driver. So what I effectively have is a mobile knife tune-up tool as well. So these Torx drivers, you've got the little mini Torx. That usually gets most pocket clips off a knife. So for example, it gets the pocket clip off a Rat 1 knife. And then this Torx here, this will be the number 8 Torx. That will do most knife pivots. So it's just a good little tool to have. So really versatile that you can fit the Leatherman bit kit in here, and you can have really whatever tools you use the most, in my case Phillips and Torx. I like one of the two retention methods a lot. I like securing it to my pants belt buckle loop via this clip. I think that's a really cool way of carrying a tool like this. The pocket clip, not so much. It fits okay in the pocket. This one's come loose because I've had it in my pocket and it has been snagged. No, I've had it hanging off my belt, sorry, and the pocket clip's been snagged by things. I think I once dropped a bag of fertilizer and the clip caught the fertilizer and it really bent really well down, but to its credit it did spring back into true against the scale there, so it was okay. But the pocket clip itself is a little bit thin and it's a little bit lopsided, so if you put it in your pocket the tool wonks around a little bit. So I do like the options, but I'll get to what I don't like in a little while, I suppose. But overall, it is a really, really well-designed little tool. There's a couple of little niggles about it, which I'll get to, but you'll pay probably now about $120 for this, which I think is starting to become a little bit on the exorbitant side. That's just how Leatherman have gone with their Australian prices. Even online, you'll struggle to find it under $100 anymore. I think when I bought this 3 years ago, it was $80, so that's just the way the cookie seems to be crumbling. But I do think it's still probably, as I've said a couple of times, I'm never going to sell this. I think this is a really good thing to always have on you, at least as an option. Really good when you're traveling. Another really good thing about, because it's a Leatherman and because it doesn't look like a knife at all, it's really quite politically correct for people who sort of just think, oh, he's just got a multi-tool. People just have it in their head that multi-tool's fine, knife, like dedicated knife, no, so, excuse me, so it placates all of them as well. Well, let's get on to the couple of little things that I'm not super thrilled with about the Skeletool. First of all, when you use the pliers, it's a comfortable grip unless you have a sharper tool in the driver slot. So for example, this Torx, when I'm doing plier things, it does tend to sink into the fat of my hand there, which is a little bit cumbersome. And then when I've got sort of something thicker in, it's not as much as a problem, but it's no good to have to keep thinking and swapping out when you're using the pliers. I don't use these pliers for too much extended tasks, but even still it is noticeable. The other main thing, apart from the pocket clip, which I did reference as being a little bit lopsided, is when it is in your pocket and you reach past the tool, you often hit the tang of the knife blade here, which is being sharpened off, and it is quite a flat surface, which is to engage the liner lock, I know, but it's just a little bit of a bother. It's just not quite, even if they just extended this bit of metal here, the smooth bit, to go over and past it, it might have done the trick. But instead, you do have a bit of a corner there, and as I hold it up you can see against my middle finger there, there is a bit of a corner to catch yourself on. So I probably just end up, if you bought this tool, you'd probably end up doing like me and just not using it in your pocket. You just hang it off your belt, which is a great way of carrying it. Apart from that, this really is one of the best EDC items, in my opinion, going. Some people don't like it because it doesn't have enough tools. I think it's just fine, the amount of tools it has. Some people think it's a little bit too heavy, but this is me. I carry a zero tolerance. This is just a knife, and it weighs probably a little bit more even than the Skeletool, which has, although it has less cutting capability, as you can see there, it's got lots of other capability as well, whereas this is just a knife. So very, very wisely made tool, and as far as I understand, it's sold really well for Leatherman and has been a fair success, and it almost did propel the brand into all these EDC type things that they're doing now. There's the one-piece multi-tools and the tread, whether we should be thankful for that or not, but it's definitely gave the company a lease of life when these came out in about 2008. So very good stuff. So that is my Leatherman Skeletool. And it's going 3 years strong, and it's still solid as the day I bought it. Hasn't got any wear on it that's not, even the cosmetic wear really, that's even particularly ugly. Yeah, up close you'll see like the scuffs along there. Yeah, that all happens, that's fine. The blade actually had a real rough time in its first few months of opening, where I just absent-mindedly cut sandpaper with it, and it took out a chunk about probably 2 or 3 millimeters up the blade, well, not millimeters, but about 1 millimeter up the blade, so I really had to reprofile the entire edge, which I just did on a stone, so good steel there. But overall, my experience with this has been like overwhelmingly positive, and it's definitely one of my favourite things, and isn't looking like it's ever going to change being one of my favourite things. So, happy 1,000 viewers to me, 1,000 subscribers to me, and thank you all very much for watching both this video and all the previous ones. Please like, subscribe, and share my videos, and I will keep making more of them. Thank you very much. Bye now.